I grew up by the bando, He put a string like a banjo, I show my face, no mask on, Wife red on me, she bad though, I'm Michael Jackson, I'm bad though, They wanna come out the bed though, Don't even know why they mad for, You better use your manners, Back to attacking the bee. I gotta follow the lead. I do not eat off the tree. I see his notice.
So welcome to the International Kingdom Vibe Show. And this week we have a special guest, my dude, the homie from the West Coast. Mission is in the building. What up?
Yes, sir. How you, man? I'm chilling, bro. What's good with it?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. How about you?
I'm feeling good, man. It's almost album time. So you know, I'm juiced, man. It's been a long time coming, so I'm ready.
Yeah. This is a busy season for you, man. And like, no pun
Man.
intended. You're high off life. Yeah, you had your concert you did a couple of weeks ago. You and Brandon P, right?
Yep, we actually did that. I think that was last Saturday or the Saturday before last. It was dope, man. We were very, very pleased with the turnout, man. We sold the show completely out. It was just so good to have, you know, that love in your own city, and just post-COVID kind of being nervous and not really knowing if people would come out and show up, but you know they really did. So we was juiced. It was dope.
Yeah, that was dope, bro. Yeah, that's dope. So you had that amazing concert a couple of weeks ago. I know Brandon just dropped the album or dropped the EP.
He dropped the EP.
Yeah. And now you're dropping your full album. You're dropping on the 30th.
Yes,
so
sir.
There's a lot going on for y'all right now. Huh?
It is, bro. It is, man. We trying to stay busy. We trying to stay active.
Yes, sir. So there's a ton of questions that I can ask you right now. A lot of things we really can get into. We definitely want to dive in and talk a lot about this album that you're releasing on July 30th.
Sure.
But before we even get into the album, let's talk a little bit about your journey, right? Mm-hmm. So you and I, we actually got a chance to connect. What was it, 2019? Like summer 2019, I think.
Yep. In New York,
at Misfits in Brooklyn, and I don't know if you realize it. I'm pretty sure you realized it from the mix that I was doing. I was a big fan of your music for a number of years.
Yeah, I was like, yo, he playing some oldie but goodies.
Yeah, yes, sir. So for me, from my point of view, and just in general, it's impossible to talk about West Coast CHH and not mention you and your boys at all. And you guys have been putting in a lot of work for a number of years, putting out a lot of like consistently dope music.
Right.
So tell me, before you actually got to this point, right, in your journey, when did you get to the actual point where you realized, you know what, I'm going to be an artist. This is one thing I'm going to focus on, and I'm going to put my all into it?
Man, that's a great question. I think I was figuring it out as I went, if that makes sense. Like, because I was doing music, I was kind of stumbling upon it. Like, okay, I'm going to be at the studio today. Let's put some music out. I think when I really, really took it serious and knew it's just like, this is what I'm going to do, is actually when I got with RPSMG, because I had released the album prior to actually meeting those guys. And I was really, really discouraged because it just didn't come out how I thought, because I put a lot of work into it. The guy that was helping me with it, he put a lot of work into it. And when we put it out, it wasn't received well. And then at that time, I didn't stop. I kept going, but I was just kind of feeling like, man, like I know, you know, I'm passionate about this. I know I'm talented. I know I have potential, but I'm not able to, you know, get the quality that I want. I'm not able to get the sound that I want. And that's where, and I don't know, we're going to talk about the album later, but that's kind of where Less is More comes from. It stems from me not having what I needed and me not having a lot, and actually making something out of that. You know what I'm saying? Turning nothing into something. And when I got with the guys with RPSMG, you know, I started to get that quality. I started to gain that confidence back. And then once we start putting that type of music out, it started being received well. And that kind of gave me the confidence, and that gave me the boost that I needed, because I always knew it was in me. But I needed a little more to work with.
Gotcha.
But I worked with what I did have. And, you know, that's when I decided, like, you know what? So I think that was what we got together in 2014, something like that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So once that It was like, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Take off.
Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it.
So tell me, how did you guys form this super crew to me, RPSMG?
Yeah, so actually JG Justin, he went by Jesus Geek. He's
Yep.
Justin Goss now. He was actually like the GM, the general manager of this thing. I know him and Brennan had a great relationship, and JG, he saw me at like a show, he heard a song, and then he wanted to bring me a part of the group. And then with KAG and Excellence, he kind of handpicked us all and was like, hey man, we should form a group together and more of a collective. And he, we started hanging out with each other. We loved each other's music, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
But I give a lot of credit. I give all that credit to Justin Goss, because he knew what he wanted. He had a vision, and he put a great team together.
Mm.
And then
That's dope.
Yeah, we continue to stick with each other.
That's dope. Yeah,
Don't
when
mind,
y'all
I'm
drop.
drinking.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, when you drink,
It's
when
a
you guys
soda,
drop
by the way.
you said okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Right.
Yeah, when you guys dropped that mixtape, bro, that mixtape was serious, bro. Yeah, that kind of blew a lot of us away. It just came out of nowhere, but blew a lot of us away. But again, you guys were dropping joints for a while before that.
Yeah.
Before that mixtape came out. But when I heard that one, I heard I think it was Starting 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, these dudes got the goods.
Yeah. Yeah, man, we was tripping because actually back then, before all the celebrities was posting people, Megan Good had shared our song.
Oh wow.
And she shared Starting 5 on Twitter.
Yeah.
And yeah, we was just tripping. We was like, what, Megan Good? We all had a crush on her. So yeah, we was juiced about that.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Starting 5.
Okay. So listen, we have the RPSMG mixtape you guys did. You had a couple of different albums. You had the Dress Rehearsal album that you came out with when you first started out years ago. You had the No Medium album. No Medium was one of my favorites. Especially
wow, you went back.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Side with Dre Murray and Transparent.
Yeah.
And I know y'all pushed out the Barely Finished after that. All of You, None of Me. I know you did the Thank You Lord album that we made it safe. And then last year, y'all were holding me down heavy when y'all did the Barely Finished Part 2. Yeah. We know like May is when the pandemic was really heavy, and we needed like music. We needed something to watch on TV. And that album, for me personally, held me down throughout the whole summer.
Wow.
There was a lot of times when I was doing like virtual events. Yeah. And It's a Bop and a lot of other joint Stratosphere off of them, man.
Yeah.
it helped me out so much, bro.
Thanks,
Big time.
Man. That's dope. Nah, thanks for supporting it, bro.
Yes, sir. So now that leads us to your latest project now, Less is More, which drops again this Friday on July 30th, right? Which
July
actually
30th, next Friday, yep.
Yeah, next Friday, July 30th, which is actually available right now for pre-order, right?
Yep. You can get it right now on pre-order.
Yes,
Pre-order,
get that
pre-save.
right now. Please, you hear this. Get this right now. So it's available in pre-order. So from the creative aspect, this album, from what I've heard so far, is definitely different than some of the albums you already put out now. What was like your biggest influence when it comes to making the Less is More album?
Man, honestly, a lot of when I'm making an album, I pull a lot of influence from my Mississippi roots, as far as the and I go back and I listen to a lot of older music, like Bobby Womack's, the Marvin Gaye's, the stuff like that, because there's something about their music that was so simple and kind of to the point. It didn't have all the extras, the extra production, post production, and like I pulled a lot of influence from that, and just thinking about where I was at that moment of in that moment in that season where I was making the whole album, I felt like I didn't have a lot again to work with.
Yeah.
And it took me back to the first album where I didn't have a lot to work with. I had more than I had, so I pulled a lot of influence and inspiration from my first album, which was called Main Event. And, that gave me the motivation that I needed to kind of go harder in the season that I was in, because, you know, you gain some success, you know, you gain, you know, some notoriety, you can get comfortable.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely.
so I had to pull from that. I had to go reach down deep and pull from that
Mm.
influence, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I'm just thinking of some of the other tracks you had out there before, like
Yeah.
High Off Life. You can
Yeah.
hear you can hear that old school vibe in it, which I love
Mm-hmm.
personally. That's It's
Yep.
perfect for,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the cookouts and everything else too.
Yep.
At the
Mm-hmm.
same time, that's
Yeah.
super dope.
I listen to a lot of old school music, man. Like, I really do. I just love it.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, I just like how original they were. I like
Hmm.
how I keep the simplicity of the music, man, was it's really less is more. I'm not trying to keep
Yeah.
plugging that, but it's just like, man, they use, you know, they relied on their vocals, they relied on the instrumentation, you
Mm,
know. So yeah, bro, it was a huge influence and inspiration.
that's dope. So another question for you. You had a lot of really crazy collabos on there. So you got B-Rose on there, you got Cannon, you
Mhm.
got Brandon P, you got
Yeah,
Paris, you got your boy Zay on there as well.
yeah,
So
AOY in a way. Yep.
yeah, so how is it working with these different artists on this particular album?
It was actually dope because a lot of my albums, like, I don't reach out for
Mm,
features, like, and if they are features, they're not really known. It's just people that I vibe with on a
yeah.
day to day. So to reach out to a Paris and a Canon was
Mm,
different for me, because, like, I don't do features for clout,
yeah.
or
That's
to
good.
gain their fans or whatever. If that happens in the process, great. But I try to do music to where, like, the music I like, and I got to be a fan of their music.
Mm,
And like, speaking of Bando, like, I'm a huge Paris fan, and,
yeah.
like, I listen to his music, and when I heard Bando, when I heard the beat and I made the hook and I was in my verse, I was finna do a second verse, and I was like, you know who, Paris would be perfect on this.
Yeah.
And I reached out, and, you know, he hit me back. It was all love. I sent him the track, and he sent it back super quick, and it was because he could hear himself on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's good.
And he actually mentioned that in the interview we did. He was just like, man, I just heard myself on it. And I
Yeah.
was like, that's dope. So I want to do features from that place. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I was looking for a feature, on a track. It always came from that place. But it
That's
was
good.
different for me because I didn't like to reach out a lot. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because, you know, oh man, you just trying to get me on it. I was like, nah, I'm not really, you know, really on that. And and me and V Rose, like, that's like my sis. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
big sis. She's a sweetheart, and she's just gonna rock with me regardless, and I'm gonna rock with her. So
That's dope.
yeah. And Zay,
Yeah,
you
y'all
know,
two made some
that's
great
Cam.
songs together.
Yeah, I love V, man. She's super dope at what she do. She's super
Yeah.
dope.
So let's talk about Bando, right? So
Hmm.
you dropped the music video for Bando.
Hmm.
Music video was super dope.
Appreciate
Caught me
it.
off guard. I see you pulling out these burners. I'm like, yo, what they about to do right here?
Hey, man. Yeah, it caught a lot of people off guard, man. I actually
Yeah.
had to have a couple conversations, side conversations, and I knew it would.
Yep.
But I wasn't doing it for shock value. I was doing it for just, man, like, let me be creative and express.
Yeah.
You know, let's express. And um, it simply was us tired of doing videos in front of a brick wall and with
Mm.
100
Yeah.
dudes, and, hey, let's get a dope car and let's stand in front of it. But it also, you know, we say, the demons, they was in the shadows. We had to turn into Rambo. It was a spiritual
Yeah.
warfare.
Yep.
And Paris really made that line stick out because I said it in the hook, but when he
Yeah.
said it in his verse, I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we wanted to play on a Rambo theme, you know what I'm saying? And with
Love
the
it.
little budget we had, you know what I'm saying? We had to make it happen. And I, like I said, like, I knew some people would feel away about the guns, but we weren't trying to promote violence.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
We were just trying to promote, hey, it's a spiritual warfare. Here's a creative way we'll do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I got a crazy little exclusive. I'm doing a she mix to Bando.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's
Okay.
gonna be
Okay.
all girls. I can't tell you on it, but man,
Uh,
yeah. So
okay. Okay.
yeah,
That
so we're
sounds
doing a
crazy.
bando she mix. So it's gonna be
That's
all
dope.
females. So yeah.
That's super dope. Yeah, when I heard that joint, I was like, yo, this song was amazing. But yeah, like you said before, it was a perfect fit for you and Paris on there.
Yeah.
Um, so let me talk to you also about the other music video you dropped, Worthy.
Hmm.
Definitely completely different vibe, but it was a
Completely.
really, really deep song. Can you
Hmm.
break down like that music video, the thought process behind how you
Yeah.
created that video?
Yeah, it was another situation where we wanted to be creative and bring the song alive. So
Mm,
um the concept was we wanted to show like, okay, so in the song is this eerie, like when a song first starts, like this eerie sound. And
yeah.
that's why we thought, hey, let's go back to the 50s. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm. Oh,
WandaVision
okay.
was really popular around the time we were trying to do the video. So that's why we went to the 50s. That's the only reason. But it was about bondage, right?
Mm.
And not feeling worthy in your situation. So that's why you see the ball and chain on the
On
family's
the,
foot.
yep.
And in Worthy, I talk about in the actual song, I talk about it doesn't matter your situation, who you are, what you've done, what you're doing. God
Mm.
still sees you worthy. So that's why we had the family in their situation,
Yeah.
in the abuse, in the drug use, and the daughter, she's seeing all of that. So
Yeah.
if we don't get that together, that's just gonna pass down. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yep.
And the keys represented God. The keys represented Jesus in the sense of
Mm.
like, hey, he's the key. So if you don't get a hold to this, you're gonna stay in that bondage. And
Yeah.
we wanted to show that. We wanted to show the guy in his anger. We wanted to show me. I was playing a guy who's like, my kind. Like, I don't know if you remember in the video when he bumped into me.
Yep.
I had all right to, as a man, to like, square up and come back with him. But
Yeah.
my
Lay hands.
kindness, yeah, lay hands. But my act of kindness is what that shifted him and be like, hold on, this dude
Mm.
didn't come back with me. So it made him think. That's what we wanted
Yeah.
to convey. You know what I'm saying? And
I love
and
it.
yeah, man, we just it was a really with our small budget one time again. We just wanted to do something different, man, and
Yeah.
really get people to think and really hope, the song connected with people, man. And yeah, man, that's where that came from, and that's why we wanted to do it that way.
Yeah,
But
bro.
now it's hard to do a
Creatively.
video
why?
because I
Why is
feel like
that?
because I set the bar and it's like, all right, every time I got to do a storyline, a movie now. So
Yeah. Yeah, bro. It was super dope, especially like when you bumped into him and then he walks away, then he finds the key in his pocket. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
definitely different.
yeah. We want it, man. Like I said, man, we want to get people thinking. We want to
Mm,
get people, really, because like when I'm writing a song, man, like I'm not just trying to, especially for an album, for a mission album, if you will. I don't want to just make songs that just don't mean anything or don't have any thought or can't potentially help someone out of their situation. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So we wanted the video to match, bro.
yeah, yeah. I love it, bro. It was super creative. Again, and that's just your
Thank you.
the first two big songs you pushing off the album. You still got
Hmm.
another 12 more to go on there. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah,
everybody's gonna love it. It's
yeah.
gonna be fire,
I'm
bro. I'm
excited.
ready. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
So we realize now too, it's with you as an artist, one thing's come really prevalent over the last several years that it's not just about you. And
Mhm.
I know you put out the album All of Me, All of You and None of Me,
Right.
which, I'm assuming that's part of the segue that led you to putting together the record label now,
Of
right? So you
course.
got
Of course.
Zay and you got Marcus Steven. And
Yeah.
I know he's one of the Rapzilla top
Yeah, Rapzilla
freshmen
freshman. Yep. They
2021.
was in
Yeah,
Atlanta
bro.
turning up. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was a
Yeah.
good look. I saw him at the pool party concert.
Yeah. He went in. He went in. Yeah. So man, with all you done to me, AOY and
Yeah,
Win the label, man, it's really whatever platform, what I'm saying, it's not the hugest, but hey, you guys can have it. Like
mm,
whatever I have access, you have access to. And I just
yeah,
always believe in, reaching down and pulling up if you can, if you're able to, because you can't get here alone. I mean, you
Mm.
can, but it's just, you need people around you. You need great people around you, and you should always be trying to help someone. Just even
Yeah.
like, with my kids, like, and they're playing sports right now, and I don't try to help them with football because I never played football. So it's like I'm investing time into someone else who is looking to invest in kids who play football. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So they spent their life playing football. You know what I'm saying? So they have
Mm.
more knowledge to give you. So with me, it's just like, man, I've been doing this for a while. So there's younger cats that can, you know, can benefit from the wisdom, whether they come a part of the label or not. It's
Yeah.
about me giving back and pouring in to people. And, I want that to be a part of my legacy. Is like, hey, Mission didn't just focus on itself.
Yeah.
Mission tried to help people. You know what I'm saying? And that's in my personal life. That's with family. That's with everything, let
Yeah.
alone music. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I started the label, man, is to, to build a team and, and, and obviously there's a part of side is like, I'm big on owning your own having your own thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because everybody's not going to get signed to Reach. Everybody's
Yeah.
not going to get signed to RMG. So
Mm.
when that don't happen, what's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able
Exactly.
to have something you can call your own and be able to give back to people.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've heard some great leaders say, if you want to travel fast, go alone. But if you want to travel
Mm.
further, go with a group.
Well,
Like,
mm-hmm.
and I
Yep.
definitely see that, like with the crew that you put together now. So you and Brandon and your squad, like you guys have been, to me, one of the most consistent artists over the last 10 years when it comes to producing just good music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Different vibes depending on the type of music you're looking for, but always producing just straight good music. And I know that not just Zay and Marcus Stevens, I know there's other artists that look up to you.
For
So
sure.
if you had opportunity to give any of these artists advice, what would be probably the most important thing you want to share with them?
Um, that's a good question. I get asked this question a lot. My thing, man, is know know what you're getting into this for and
Mm,
sticking to that
yeah.
and making sure you don't lose sight of why you're doing what you're doing. And that's not
Mm,
necessarily, oh, I'm doing this for the souls. Like, yeah, you are, but set realistic goals for yourself. And you can't get like don't let the emotions overtake you, because you're gonna feel underrated, you're gonna feel underappreciated, you're gonna feel like
mm,
no one's listening. But if you have your mindset on the main thing is like, hey, I'm an artist, I'm doing this for God, and I'm doing this to, if that's provide for your family, you can't go off of the emotions. You can't go off of, people not listening or people, turning a blind eye. You have to stay focused on the goal at hand. I mean, I look at Chris Paul.
yeah.
He got to the finals and he lost again at 16 years, but every year he showed up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, yep.
So imagine all of the emotions that he went through of like, man, another year, another loss, another year,
Mm,
playoff loss, and then boom, he just got to the finals and lost again. But I
yeah.
guarantee you, unless he retires, he's going to show up next year. And
Yep.
without all of the accolades, you still got to show up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So and taking it from somebody who don't feel like he has the accolades that I deserve, you know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Or whatever that may be, I still show up. I still, hey, another album, hey, another single, hey,
yeah.
another show. Okay, there's somebody else that I can help out. Hey, come on, let's do it. You got to
Yeah.
keep showing up. You got to show up.
Yeah. That's so good.
Yep.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were interviewing Chris Paul, I think last night or maybe today, and he was saying like, I'm not retiring. He's like, I'm back to work tomorrow.
See,
But in spite of losing and taking the
in
L,
spite of losing,
he's back to work, man.
you
But
back to
then at the
work
same time too, like even if we look at Giannis, people were saying like he's not gonna ever win. Beginning of
everyone.
this year, they're like, yo, he got to leave Milwaukee because he's not gonna win. He needs to
I was
give
one of
up
those
on
people.
them. Yeah, me too. Yep. But he
I was one
persevered.
of those. Yep.
I think that's definitely one of the to me one of the most prevalent things when it comes to this artist period overall is just not giving up and being persistent, especially in just dealing with the vicissitudes of life. As an artist, like you make music, but life hits you,
For
and
sure.
sometimes it knocks you down really hard. And sometimes people just disappear and stop making music. Some people just keep going and working through the pain or whatever they're dealing with. And that's usually the ones that, make it far, is the ones that, in spite of the situation, they're going to keep on grinding, keep on working.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
100% agree. I 100% agree. Nipsey said this, Nipsey Hussle. He said, man, I use this a lot because it just stuck with me so much. He said the only
Mm.
thing he did different from anybody else, that's not where he is or didn't get the results that he got. He said, I just didn't quit. He said,
Yeah.
I felt every single emotion.
Mm.
He said, I did not want to show up. I did not want to go to school. I felt every emotion that y'all are feeling. He said, the only difference is I didn't quit.
Yeah.
When he said, man,
So
I heard
good.
that. I was just like, all right, I got to show up. We got to show up. You can pull inspiration from cats who aren't, who aren't on the same hype. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. One quick question for you too, when it comes just to music and everything on the album. There are some songs that we may have when we work on music that we will put all of our emotions to, or another song that you hear and it's like you enjoyed making it so much and it's like you knew it was fire before you even finished it. What's your two songs? What's your song that you knew was like a banger before you even pushed it out, before you even finished it? And what was the other song that you put all of your emotions and everything into it?
yeah, Bando, as soon as I heard it, bro, as soon as I heard the beat, I
Yeah.
said, oh, this is going to be special.
Yes, sir.
And it's still catching on, it's catching wind, it's catching fire. But I knew that song. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be nice. But the one that I put like my everything in, and it's and this will be for like the core day one fans. I hope they'll be happy. So generally speaking, 3 is on this album, and generally speaking, 1 and 2 is on Dress Rehearsal.
Okay.
And that's generally speaking, 1 was a song where I really felt like people started paying attention. So to bring
Mm.
it back on this album, generally speaking, 3, this
Yeah.
song I wrote it. It took me like 2 weeks to write it because I
Wow.
wrote it, I erased, I wrote it, I erased, I wrote it, I
Yeah.
erased. And this song is going to tell you who I am. It's going to tell
Mm.
you my frustrations,
Mm.
um, but it's gonna come back to the focus on the main thing.
Yeah.
And this song, like I really feel like if you want to know who Mission is as an artist, from his morals, his standards, as a husband, from his his frustrations in life, his frustrations in the space, I feel like generally speaking, 3 is gonna sum all that up and tell you what it is.
Yes, sir. That's dope, bro. That's
Yeah,
dope. Yes.
yeah.
We ready for it. Well, I got one more big question for you, right? So
Okay.
album drops in a couple of days. And after that, what is next for Mission?
Hmm. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'm dropping a deluxe or EP after, but I'm I, I'm back to the music, but I'm also like gonna take some time to focus on building a stronger building making ALYNOM stronger, and that's
Okay.
focusing on Mark Stevens and Zay, and we're gonna be bringing on some other artists. One artist might be coming back.
Nice.
So that's a little hint. Um, and I'm gonna just really be focusing on building a stronger brand with AOY and OM. But I am gonna be I'm not gonna stop releasing music, or I'm not. It's not even gonna be long before I drop again. But I'm going to take the time to just really build AOY and OM because like we have sort of a buzz, but it's just some branding things that we need to take care of, and
Okay.
just getting us completely established as a real label, as a real movement in CHH,
Yeah.
and just not even just CHH, just want to be recognized, just period. Um,
Yeah.
and so that's going to be a lot of my focus, and
Okay.
touring and all of that stuff. So it's going to be it's gonna be a lot of hard work, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be my focus.
Yes, sir. That's a good look, bro. So I know when y'all going to man, if y'all come to New York, you gotta hit me
Yeah.
up.
Now we coming.
Connect.
We coming. We're gonna definitely try to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's a good look. So you got all that coming up now. So we have now this episode's gonna be airing,
Dope.
and
Dope.
we're gonna make sure that we're gonna do a special mission mix on there
Dope.
for you and Brandon P and
Dope.
AG and the whole squad. And we're gonna keep it West Coast because I'm a
West
big fan of
Side.
West Coast music anyway. So we're gonna keep it West
Yeah.
Coast. So yeah, that stuff is gonna be coming out, and we'll just keep it pushing. And you know, us as a group, we're 100% behind you. So whatever you got, we out here pushing and helping you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
All right, appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. You have a good day.
All right. You too. Peace.
I grew up by the bando, huh? He put a string like a banjo, huh? I show my face, no mask on, huh? Wife red on me, she bad though, huh? I'm Michael Jackson, I'm bad though, huh? They wanna come out the bed though, huh? Don't even know why they mad for, huh? You better use your manners, huh? Back to attacking the beat.